Today, I want to show you how you can set up in-app purchases and in-app subscriptions using RevenueCat inside of your WeWeb mobile application. It just takes a few seconds. It's super simple, so let's get right started with it right now. So first of all, inside of our WeWeb project, we want to make sure that we have the Despia plugin installed. You can get that from the WeWeb marketplace under libraries, and if you just look for Despia, you'll find it right inside of there, and you can import that into a new or existing project. Now, to verify that you have it and to show you how to update it, let's go on Assets, Library. You click on the little book symbol, and you'll see that we have this Despia provider package, this Despia provider library added. And if there's like a blue button saying update, click on there so you always have the latest functionality with all the latest features inside of your project. So let's close this. And now that we have it, let's click on add. Let's go on assets and let's add this Despia provider, Despia native, Despia plugin component on the top of the page. So I'm taking the Despia plugin component and putting it on the top of the page. And now I can just add a button to trigger the in-app purchase. So let's go back to basics, add a button inside of here, make sure the Despia plugin component is still on top of the page, and this button will do an in-app purchase. And then under it, I'm just going to clone it, and I'm going to make another button for a subscription, just like this. So now here comes the setup with RevenueCat. We need to go to Despia, and as you can see, we require the API key and the project ID for our RevenueCat project. So for the API key, we're just going to go inside of RevenueCat to API keys down here, and we're going to copy our public API key for the SDK API, right? And then we're just going to take that, and we're going to go inside of Despia and put this inside of here. And then to get the project ID, you're going to go to project settings. You can copy the project ID right inside of here, and then you're going to go back to Despia and paste it right inside of here. Now, after you have those pasted, you can just publish the application again. It is mandatory that you're publishing it again. But also one thing to note is you want to probably already create some products inside of RevenueCat, because you need to publish the application again when you add a new product, so the product actually gets added to the store package. So if we go to the product catalog here and we go to products, you will see I already have two products added. One is a subscription, one is an in-app purchase. Now, you want to make sure to add a new product, and then also keep in mind that when you add a product in RevenueCat, you still need to manually go inside of the App Store Connect to, for example, in-app purchases, and provide a screenshot down here of how the product will look inside of your application and some descriptions, and then rebuild it so it actually gets added to the app package. And then the same thing also for in-app subscriptions here, which you need to create a subscription group. And then in the group, you have your plans, and then the plan itself is treated like an in-app purchase, but you do have to set the duration because it doesn't set any by default. And then you just need to upload the screenshot and add the description. That is important. Most people forget that, and then they're wondering why it doesn't work. So keep that in mind. Now, with that being said, with us just having those product IDs set up inside of here, we can now set this up inside of WeWeb. So let's go back to WeWeb because I already have it published. Let's add a workflow, and this workflow will be execute component action. And I'm going to take the Despia plugin component, and I'm going to look for trigger in-app purchase. Now I can add an external user ID that can be dynamic. This will help you when you get the RevenueCat webhook to your backend identify who actually paid, which is quite important. But I'm just going to hard code it for today. So I'm just going to call this WeWeb user, right? And then the product will be this in-app purchase. So if I go to RevenueCat, to my product catalog, products, you will see I have purchase. I can copy this product identifier, and I will go back to WeWeb and paste it inside of here. And now when I run this, I'm triggering my in-app purchase. Now we can do the same thing for the subscription. If I click on workflows, and I'm going to execute component action, and I go to my Despia plugin component, and I will do in-app purchase because you still run the in-app purchase plugin also if it's an in-app subscription, because it's the same thing in the eyes of RevenueCat. And then external ID, WeWeb _ user. You probably want to take that dynamically from your auth data, which you can do super simple with WeWeb. And then we're just going to take the subscription ID. We're going to go back into WeWeb and we're going to paste it inside of here. Now, the beautiful thing is you can set up complex native functionalities like in-app purchases directly inside of WeWeb without having to leave the WeWeb editor. Let's close that and let's deploy the application. Now, the beautiful thing with Despia is because you have updates over the air, you don't need to republish the moment you change. Of course, you need to rebuild and republish the application when you add new in-app subscriptions and in-app purchases, so they get added to the bundle. But any change you do in WeWeb that is not tied to adding new stuff to your Apple developer account is over the air and fully compliant with the store guidelines, so don't have to worry about that. But you also don't have to wait 10 days to update a critical feature like other frameworks. So if you now open your application, just like I'm doing here, you should be able to test in-app purchases. So if I click on purchase, as you can see, I will be doing an in-app purchase for $7.99 for my in-app purchase. I can purchase that here. And then of course it wants me to log in and all that kind of stuff, but you get the whole idea. And then I can run a subscription here. And as you can see, I'm actually already subscribed. So I actually can show that to you. But RevenueCat also makes sure that people can subscribe 2 times to the same thing. And then they can actually manage it by clicking on manage. And inside of the application, they can manage their subscription. They can cancel. They can do all kinds of things. For example, I can cancel here. And you got like this one-click cancel to stay compliant with local laws. And that's how simple you can set those things up. And now if you're wondering, how do I know who paid and that they have paid, right? If you go to RevenueCat, you can go on integrations. You can go on webhooks. And now if you add a new webhook, you can add a webhook URL to your Supabase backend, to your Xano backend, to your Zapier automation, to your make scenario, to your N8N, whatever you're doing. And then you can add an authentication token here to make it even more secure. And then you can say all apps or only specific apps. And then you can select the events that you want to look for, like initial purchase, renewal, product change, cancellation, billing issue, non-renewing purchase, uncancellation, transfer, subscription paused, expiration, subscription extended, invoice issuance, temporary entitlement grant, refund reversed, virtual currency transaction. All those events, and they're telling your server what's happening. Now, the next question is, how do you set this up when your server knows what's happening? How do you update your front end? With that, you can use Xano Real-Time or Supabase Real-Time or any other alternative real-time API, SDK, like Ably, for example. They will allow you that once your server receives the webhook and you are granting access, you can send a web socket to WeWeb to then tell WeWeb, hey, refresh the page, show a thank you message, thank you for in-app purchase, because web sockets allow your server to talk to your front end. And normally it's only the front end talking to your server. So like the server can call your front end and you can natively set that up. WeWeb calls it Xano Real-Time or Supabase real-time integration, but under the hood, they're running WebSockets, and that is usually how most mobile apps set it up anyways. And that's how you set this up. That's how simple that is. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions about setting up in-app purchases, feel free to go to the Despia editor and close this tab here and go on customer support and ask us any questions. We're here to help you get on the App Store and make lots of money with in-app purchases. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.